We begin this hour, though, with new details about yesterday's terrifying mass shooting at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. A gunman killed 3 people, wounded another near the university's business school building. And there have been more than 630 mass shootings in America this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive. That is a new record. Omar Villafranca is in Las Vegas. Omar, good morning.
Good morning. Our CBS affiliate here in Las Vegas is identifying the shooter as Tony Polito, a man in his 60s. We're still actually trying to find the names or get confirmation of the names of the 3 victims. Now, here at UNLV with its 30,000 students, faculty, and staff, everything here has been put on pause as the university deals and the community deals with another mass shooting.
Just before noon on Wednesday, the sounds of gunshots on the campus of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas triggered an all-too-familiar active shooter response.
We have more patients inside with an active shooter.
Copy, so we're reporting an actual active shooter at this point, correct?
That's affirmative.
Cops are going in right now.
Sources tell CBS News the shooter was a former college professor in his 60s. Police say he opened fire on the 4th floor of the business school building.
Went to multiple floors, and the suspect was neutralized on the outside by the UNLV Police Department.
I was crying.
First-year student Riley Adams took this video as she and her fellow classmates were escorted out of their barricaded classroom, where she walked past a door apparently shattered by gunfire.
Jesus Christ.
Is anyone hurt?
I texted both my parents kind of a goodbye, almost like, I love you guys. If anything happens to me, just know I'll always love you.
While authorities are being praised for their swift response, the community is stunned.
It's time for us, as the adults. Enough. It is enough.
Hours later, students were still trying to process what happened.
It's just crazy knowing that you go from a college classroom to all of a sudden barricading yourself in it and not learning and trying to fend for your life. It's just sad because now it's a factor oh, it's another shooting. That's pretty much how people look at it.
We are about 2 miles from the scene of the 2017 mass shooting here in Las Vegas. And the sheriff says that the training they did after that massacre led to the coordinated effort that we saw yesterday. As for students here at UNLV, they were supposed to have finals next week, but all of that has been put on pause. Doug, Anne-Marie?
All right, so Omar, this is obviously the beginning of the investigation. There's a lot of information we don't know. What are some of the big unanswered questions?
Well, we don't know what kind of weapon that the suspect had, what he was doing beforehand, where he was here in Las Vegas. We understand he may have lived here, but how did he walk onto campus? What was he doing beforehand? Who did he talk to? We understand it happened on the 4th floor. And our local CBS affiliate has some new information that we're able to attribute to them, saying that Mr. Polito may have applied for a job at the university and was denied the job. But we don't have an exact motive right now from law enforcement. So still a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah, really troubling. Omar, thank you very much.
And I want to bring in former Boston Police Commissioner Ed Davis for more analysis on this shooting in Las Vegas. And Ed, police, as Omar just mentioned, have not revealed a motive for the shooting. Where will officials turn for more information now that the suspect is dead?
Good morning, Doug. So there's a lot of work going on right now. In the initial hours, you're worried about saving lives and getting your hands on the suspect in one way or another. But now you step back, and the reason the information isn't out there is because police want to put together a comprehensive package. The very first hours in these cases, usually you get bad information, so they want to make sure that they're confident in what they're relaying to the public. They will be executing search warrants today at residences of the suspect or workplaces where he may be working. And they will go through every stick of information that's available at those locations. Those search warrants are going to be focused on paperwork. They're going to be focused on anything in that house that may be an indicator as to why he did what he did. But the most important pieces of information are in the cell phone that he had with him, most likely, and any computers that are at the house. They'll have a special team that exploits cell phones and computers, and they will go through every link that he has clicked on, every little thing that he mentioned online is going to be researched to try to get an idea of what the motive was, what kind of weapons that he has, and what his grievances were with the university.
So all of that goes to the why. I imagine there are other things, though, that they're going to be investigating. What other information will officials be focusing on today?
Well, they'll look at a wide range of things. As the sheriff said, they learned a lot from the Mandalay Bay incident, and tragically, practice makes perfect in situations like this. So they're going to be going down the route of what the policies were at the school. The university police acted swiftly and neutralized the suspect. They're heroes in this case, but everything has to be looked at. Why did this guy go there? How did he get in? Why wasn't he stopped beforehand? Were there any indicators? I'm not saying that there were, but those are all subjects of the investigation right now to try to prevent these things happening in the future.
Ed, you mentioned the heroic response and quick one by police in this case. When something like this comes over the scanner or the radio, is there a right or wrong way to respond initially, and what did they do right?
Well, they went right to the sound of gunfire. They got information, and I've responded to cases like this. Your adrenaline spikes. Your duty is no longer to set up a perimeter and try to keep things safe. Your duty is to go in and find the person immediately. So that's what they're focused on. That's clearly what they did here. They stopped this man before he could get outside. And when you think about the possibilities of him stepping into that courtyard with hundreds, maybe thousands of students in the area, we're not sure what he was carrying. We're not sure what his capabilities were as far as ammunition. But the bottom line is they took this guy out immediately, and that's really what needed to happen here.
You know, when I heard about this, though, I couldn't help but to go back to what you brought up, the Mandalay Bay shooting at that country music festival. It still remains the worst mass shooting in U.S. history. 60 people killed, 850 people injured. And I just thought about how Las Vegas doesn't need this again. They're preparing for the Super Bowl. This is a town that, you know, it's nothing but a bunch of soft targets, to be frank. Can you talk about the impact that a shooting like this has on a community that's already dealt with this?
Sure. Well, I was in Las Vegas the night of the Mandalay Bay shooting, and I spoke to a number of officials from the gaming industry the next morning. Several hundred people were in a ballroom. I had a chance to talk to them. And what I talked about was what we went through in Boston from a community perspective. The way that we've supported the victims, the way we concentrated on the fact that this is all about taking care of the people who have been adversely impacted by this. But it takes the community pulling together to show that they're resilient and strong, and they're going to support the people who were injured here. And they're going to dismiss the person who was responsible for this. And really concentrate on what's important. So the resiliency of the community, Las Vegas strong, that mentality is exactly what needs to happen right now.
Yeah. All right. Ed Davis, thank you so much for joining us with some perspective and your expertise.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you, Emery. Thank you, Doug.